Hi guys, I'm not being very successful at making this. This is me opening up a little bit. This doesn't even look like me. I haven't got my glasses and I can still see that. So this isn't even comfortable for me because I'm sat somewhere different today. So basically, I'm just wondering, how can I say it? I'm opening up, like I said. I feel like this isn't me admit anything. I'm not talking about disorders or mental health as such in this sentence anyway, maybe in the conversation later on, but right now, have you ever felt like something major's happened to you? And for me, it was health problems, which affected me mentally. I said I wasn't going to mention mental health, and I did anyway, but this isn't what I'm trying to get at. How can I say this point? So, guys, like, I feel like there's another side to me. I was going to say two different people, but I guess that can go for anybody in the way that I mean it. It's just getting that point across. So, I feel like there's another side to me, and I feel like with me, I've got the strong side. And I don't know if you guys feel the same way. This is why I'm trying to identify with you because I feel like, how can I say it? The stuff I've always been stable with and confident. I started off stable with everything. I was never bullied when I was younger. I got bullied when I got to my 40s, bullied in my 40s, but adults are worse than children. That's the way I see it. I don't know if anybody agrees, but not as a child. I got on with everybody. I kept my head down. And it doesn't matter whether, what's that saying my husband says? I can get on with beggars or barons. That's what he says. He's more outspoken than I am. But I can see his point to that. That is one thing where I can see his point. Well, he used to say he doesn't anymore. But I feel like with me, it's all changed. And I feel like there are not genuinely two different people, but I feel like there's another side to me where there's a strong side. And this is what I mean about, if any of you can identify with it, all this stuff that's never bothered me, and I'm yet to experience anything bad that would make me change my mind about that stuff. I'm not going to go into what it is. It's just general, lots of general things. So I've got some on my top, lots of general things in life. But where this is concerned, this has affected me that badly. I feel like somebody else was born out of it. A different side of me came along, but that's to put protection in place for me. Again, do any of you guys feel like you've ever done that? Maybe you have. So to protect myself, but also it made me feel childlike and extremely vulnerable, which again, it makes sense, doesn't it? So that side of me was born out of being like, whatever happened to me, that I'm not going to go into that much. You've got an idea if you followed me for a while. But I feel like this is explaining it to you guys. I just feel like with that side of me, it's strange. I was explaining it to my husband, trying to get him to understand how I feel, even after all this time. I don't know if he does, but I feel like I can be strong. There's stuff like I can talk to you about your problems if I got the chance, any of you. I could talk to my sons, anybody else. And I feel like I've got that strength, especially the people. I think we're all more confident with the people's problems because we're a bit more of an outsider. Even if we've got empathy, we're not the one going through it in the middle of it. So it's easier not to have a flood of emotions that is clouding our judgment. And maybe that goes for all of us, but I feel like I can see that I'm like that for myself a little bit. I can be strong for myself and I can see things in the normal way, not as I'm an outsider. It's hard to explain, but a similar sort of concept. Then when it comes to being like this, I am in the middle of it all. I'm in a flood of emotions. I am struggling with it. I feel like a child with it. And I guess it can be said, like I said, for anybody who feels vulnerable with any problem. But does anybody feel the same? Like you've got two versions. I've never been like that before being like this. I've been vulnerable before, believe me. I've had stuff that's happened in my past that's made me that way, but nothing like stuff I've been through. And it's not just been my health problems. There's a lot more to it than that. A lot more that I haven't gone into. And that's been like, it's almost 12 years worth. So it's extremely difficult. It's ruined my life, but I'm trying to get something back. So I've got some sort of something to get up for. I am still trying to move on with that. I'm always trying to different things as whatever I can manage, whatever I'm capable of managing. I'm always doing something. So I'm never just giving up and doing nothing. If I can't manage it, I just go on to next. But I've not always got strength of character when it comes to this. I panic, I worry, I can't help it and explain to someone when I come across as strong in some ways, really strong, confident, but in other ways, I feel like a child. And do any of you guys feel the same way? Do you understand what I'm saying? I just want to identify with you. I wonder if you can identify with me. Because if you do feel very similar or feel like the same, it's not going to be exactly the same, is it? But if you feel the same or very similar, then you are going to understand what I'm saying to you to some degree. It's hard putting in words. It's a new, well, it's not that new, but it is quite new, this feeling. And I've had an idea, but never been able to say exactly how I feel. But I do feel like people will pick up on me in one way. Oh, you think you're so this, you're so much that, and they get such a positive view. But I think a lot of people don't understand I can only go so far when it comes to my illness. I can't do this and the other health problems and the way that I've been treated over it. I feel like, especially my passing over the system, it has affected me mentally. It's the reason I needed counselling, serious counselling and a wellbeing coach involved. Because of that, I thought it was my illness, but it wasn't. So it was what other people did to me and the system. The system have been on board, have been quite, I wouldn't say fantastic, especially in this day and age, but they've been a lot better. You've probably heard me say it before. I don't want to go into that too much. But yeah, it's so difficult because it's like I've got two people in my head, and depending what happens to me, I can be like, oh yeah, my kids will get upset over something, or there'll be something that happens. I know I'll be fine. I'll be confident. I know I'm all right. No point in getting upset. What's the point in stressing myself out? Life's difficult enough. I don't want to be stressed out more. I don't want to be overreact because some things, yeah, are worth getting upset about. Some things aren't. They're easily dealt with. I've always said that. And then you move on and you deal with problems that are, well, there are problems you're going to struggle with in life that are not so easy to deal with. And this, the other side of me is finding like my life isn't so easy to deal with, but it's difficult to explain, guys. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying because it's like depending, I can switch. It's like I've built this personality up to protect myself or out of vulnerability or a bit of both, like I said earlier, just because of this. And it's understanding myself because although, like I said, I've had an idea, I don't think I understood the full concept of who I've become because of like this. It's changed me in a way I didn't want to. I didn't ask for. I really did. I would never ask for ever. But unfortunately, it's been forced on me by nature. I can't do anything about that. And because of that, I've had to learn to deal with things within myself. And this person's like a scared child. I don't feel like an adult sometimes. When it comes to certain things that happen to me, I feel absolutely, I just act, I don't think other adults understand why I act this way, but they don't know my story. It's not their fault. I don't blame them. I don't blame anybody out there. As long as they're not being horrible to me, they don't know me. They don't know what I've been through or how I'm feeling. I can't expect anybody to be that way. So I don't blame people for not understanding. But if I open up to them a bit, it would be nice if they could care enough to understand. But there's the other side of it. It's like completely overconfident like I used to be about everything. There are plenty of things that have happened in my life, but nothing to do with health. I say plenty, not plenty. There are a few things. That's probably an exaggeration when I say plenty. But a few things that have taught me that I shouldn't be overconfident about certain things as well. I think I've gone through my life without having to, apart from going through stuff with exes, ex partners, that we all go through at some point, or most of us. I don't think I've actually been through a heck of a lot of bad stuff in my life. I hope there is not more to come. I couldn't cope with more. But it's like I do overreact to things that I didn't used to when my mind was more stable. Now I've been like this, if I have health problems, I panic and I worry because my life has taught me that there has been something to panic about on a regular basis. So it's like I've got my guard up, ready to protect myself against. I can't trust my body anymore. I can't trust certain people around me. I haven't been able to trust the system, although, like I said, it's been better. There's still people I can't trust within it, especially now. It's been difficult, but people don't understand what it's like when your reactions contradict each other, depending what you're going through. It's really difficult, but it's just a mechanism to protect myself. And of course, I'm going to overreact if life has taught me that I'm vulnerable to certain things. It does make sense. I know it does. I'm trying to be sensible, but it's something that, I guess I need to have up there until things hopefully ever, if they ever, improve in my life. What do you think, guys? What do you think?